And how much should certain black Californians be compensated for the legacy of slavery? For the first time, California's Reparations Task Force has agreed on some numbers. Thanks for joining us tonight. For Fox 40 News at 5, I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Eric Harriman. Fox 40's Karma Dickerson joining us live from the state capitol in Sacramento to break down how much people could get, who is eligible to get it, and what would need to happen first. Karma.
Absolutely, Nikki and Eric, this has been a long process. We're talking about a task force that was created in 2020, and now they're up against a July 1st deadline to break down that crucial information, essentially telling people what they found in terms of the legacy of slavery for black Californians and how it continues to affect people today. In the opinion of that report, they need to present that information to the legislature and to the governor, and for the first time, we're hearing what kind of dollar amount they've come up with. What's the cost of harm done to descendants of slaves in California? After nearly a year of research and deliberations, the California Reparations Task Force has put a price tag on restitution.
It is a monumental job.
Saturday's public meeting in Oakland was the first since the task force released specific dollar amount proposals for reparations.
If you just give the people the money and let them have the free will to utilize it as their ancestors was going to use it, then I think that would be the most beneficial.
The report estimates the harm of the war on drugs and the resulting over-policing and mass incarceration of black residents at about $2,300 for each year lived in California between 1972 and 2020. When it comes to housing discrimination, the report estimates the losses at between $146,000 and $148,000, depending on whether you're using the housing wealth gap or discrimination in lending and zoning to calculate losses. Health is where the largest number comes in. To address discrimination and various factors affecting health and life expectancy of black Americans, the report calls for $13,619 to be paid for each year lived in California. All of these proposals taken together would mean a 71-year-old who has lived their entire life in the Golden State, according to this report, would be owed about $1.2 million. As for who the task force recommends get these payments,
I ask that there's consistent, clear, and distinct language. Black descendants. Without that specificity, we are vulnerable. And for all of these things to go to other groups.
Saturday, the task force largely reiterated what was expressed in the majority of public comment, that reparations be paid specifically to black descendants of people enslaved in America, as opposed to black Americans who immigrated after the 1900s. So the task force, the numbers that they recommended have been making a lot of headlines, but they also made a number of policy recommendations in that multiple hundreds of pages of report that they are going to be presenting. Now, they're set to present that June 29, just before their deadline. They're going to be making that report final. They will present it to the legislature, and it'll be up to the legislature to take it from there. Reporting from the Capitol, Karma Dickerson, Fox 40 News.